evaluation for our troublemaker Ramesh.
Woohoo! Thank you very much, Mr. General Evaluator. Ramesh, congratulations on giving your 500th Toastmasters speech. You did an excellent job on that. I'm very, very proud of you. To give you your evaluation today, I'm going to need a little bit of assistance. So I'm going to ask Suresh, could you do me a favor and put your head down on the table? Just for a second. Just for a second. You actually need to put your head down on the table. Not a moment of prayer. Okay, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to leave the head down on the table. I'm very sorry to say, but Suresh is dead. All right, Suresh, put your head up. It's a miracle. Suresh is alive. It's a miracle. Now, how do you feel? Suresh has been brought back from the dead. Is that a big deal?
Yes.
Are you excited?
Yes.
Do you feel honored to be here for that?
Yes.
Has this ever happened to you before in your entire life?
No.
Absolutely not. Is there a level of excitement in the room when this happens?
Yes.
What are you going to do? You're going to text your friends, call your mom, tell everybody, right? Yes. Ramesh, you opened your speech by saying, on December 9th, a miracle happened. And then you continued the rest of the speech in the same tone. If a miracle happened on December 9th, I want Fox News, CNN, local papers, I want everybody there. Now maybe they weren't there. Maybe you're the only person who witnessed it. Fabulous, you're sharing something with us. A spectacular event that you believe is very special, correct? Get that excitement up and get that excitement out. It didn't come across. Okay? In fact, your entire speech was given in the same tone. And you did a very good job. You're a very clear speaker. We could hear every single word that you gave us. Unfortunately, Ramesh, you delivered a book report. Remember book reports? Remember when you had to give book reports in school? You had one to give. Everyone else had one to give. Could you remember the other person's book report after they sat down? No. Later on this afternoon, if I dropped by where you're at, are you going to remember the 4 details of what goes into a youth leadership program? Really? So Ramesh, technically, your speech was excellent. Well delivered, good eye contact, clear voice, well structured, not a problem with that whatsoever. On the other hand, it was boring. Okay, it was a very boring speech. Well delivered, but completely forgettable. Okay? And you're an excellent speaker. You have a great speaking skill. So what we need to do is now kick you up a notch. Okay? You've got the mechanics of speaking taken care of. That's not a problem for you. What we need to do is work with you on making speeches that we want to hear. Okay? You have no problem getting up in front of a crowd of millions and giving a speech. The problem is nobody wants you to do that. Okay? So we need to find a way to make this happen. Your slides. What was the #1 component on your slides? Pictures or text? Text. Why don't you just hand it out? Why are you putting it up here? What do you want me to do? Read it? If I'm reading it, I'm not looking at you. You're the most beautiful person standing up here while you give a speech, okay? Okay? We want all eyes on you because you are the star of the show. You are the performer, right? Okay? You show me text, I'm going to be reading the text. I'm not looking at you. Do you understand? Engineer boy. Is that clear? Okay? Hey, too small, too much, too everything. Put images, put symbols, put a little bit of text, not a lot. Okay? Quick glance and I look back at you. Don't let your slides steal the show from you. Your topic was a great topic for this audience. Okay? This is the audience that you should be able to tell that story to. So congratulations, that was a great thing. Okay? Unfortunately, you were so in love with your slides that while you were talking to us, you were just sitting there thinking, those were some nice slides I put together. Did you make those slides or did you inherit them? You inherited them?
Yeah.
These are some nice slides that somebody else made. You know, I should have looked at them before this. Is that what you were thinking? Because we were seeing your back a lot. Maybe if you put like some advertising. Use Pennzoil. That would have been a good use of your back. We should never see your back during a speech. Unless it's some part of your speech, right? But we saw it. You were looking at it. And this is what everybody does this. Everyone looks at their slides. I wonder if it's the right slide. Don't do it. Or don't use the slides. They didn't add that much to your speech. It's all about you. Why did you do the youth leadership program? Why? Question. Why? What a pain in the ass. Took up time, it was an effort, apparently there's a small charge, kids are always pesky to be around. Dude, don't you have a TV at home? Like a nice big one? Would you prefer to be at home watching that? Why did you do this? Is there a particular reason?
Again, community service.
Community service? And do you have an ankle bracelet on? You put up here? Are there a certain number of hours of community service you have to do? No. So you're doing this, but why? What's your motivation for doing this?
Again, to encourage kids.
Have you run over kids with cars? Are you making up for some sin that you can't possibly get over or something? Where's your motivation for doing this, Ramesh? You're a busy guy, you got other stuff going on in your life. Why did you do the youth leadership program?
That is, simple motto is encourage others to encourage yourself.
Don't you have anything else to do with your time, though? I mean, really? I mean, this is a big effort, and I appreciate when you went into it, but aren't there other things going on in your life, or is there nothing else going on in your life that you figure you'd fill it with this?
That is my basic problem.
Okay, which is fine, and there's nothing wrong with that. The key thing here is that you found a way to fill a hole in your life, and you're doing it by sharing with others. Fantastic, work that into the speech, and say, listen, I had an emptiness inside, but I found a way to fill it, and I want to share that with you so that you're able to go along with me, and if you have the same emptiness, you'll be able to fill it. You spent too much time telling us how many speeches the students had to give. They have to do this, and they have to do this, and you guys remember any of that? I know you talked about it because I wrote it down, but I don't remember that. Could I make a suggestion? Nowhere in your presentation did you give me any personal stories. How many students were involved in the program?
20.
20. Did you talk to any of them during the program?
Yes.
You did? Did you find out what kind of home life they came from? What they want to be when they grow up?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me some background here. You know, is there somebody from a troubled home? Is there somebody who's, you know, working off community service for real? Type of deal? You know, are there children at risk in the program? Are there high achiever children? Look, if you're in this program, which is crazy, you using your time to do that, why are these kids doing it? Don't they have Xboxes? Isn't there something else? Couldn't they be doing Call of Duty 12 or something like that at home? And yet, still, they're there. So work those stories, and that's what we will remember. We'll remember those stories. Johnny was, you know, failing at life and failing at this and all that sort of stuff like that. But when he went through the youth leadership program, pow, his life was changed. He could go around and, you know, cure the sick and heal all this. Right? And what topics did the students speak about? I think that would tell us a lot about the students. You know, every speech has to have a topic. You know, were they talking about flowers and birds and bees? Or they're talking, hey, listen, if you've got 6 grams of Coke at home, you can turn that into meth in the following 4 simple steps. And then boom, boom. You know, what did they actually talk about, right? Keep my interest. You spoke in a monotone. There was absolutely no humor in your speech whatsoever. There were no jokes, there were no smiles, there were no laughs, because it was a book report. And you don't smile and laugh during a book report. That's inappropriate, okay? But if you want to grab us, if you want to make us understand what's going on, then do that. Finally, you had excellent hand gestures. Very good hand gestures. You speak with, you could be an Italian Indian. I don't know if there's such a thing. But you express yourself using your hands, and that adds a lot to the speech, and you had a very solid closing. So congratulations on that. A few things to work on for the next time. I look forward to your next speech.
Thank you, Dr. Jim, for that very long and thorough
So
review
it was a longer speech, so I felt.
Ramesh's evaluation.
Yeah.
Two things I'd like to point out about Dr. Jim's evaluation.